In this video, we are looking at data tables, a sensitivity analysis tool, and we'll work through a few examples here. So data tables are, again, a sensitivity analysis tool in that we might see how things vary from certain inputs. So let's look at our first example here. We have someone that's planning to purchase their first home, mortgage of $250,000. Current rates are around 5% for 30-year mortgages with monthly payments. They have not yet locked in a rate and have noticed that rates vary daily, as they do in practice, of course, even from minute to minute. Your friend wants to know how much the monthly payment amount might vary with the interest rate. So we're looking at here, what is the sensitivity of the monthly payment to the interest rate? Again, how does the monthly payment vary with the interest rate? So I've already done some work here to speed things up. We've put in here, I actually need to change something. That should be $250,000. Okay, we got the 30 years, we got the monthly payments at 12, that is, payments per year at 12, and a 5% rate, that's an APR for an annual rate. And here we can see that I have built formulas down here for the N, the IY, etc., that all these point up to our assumptions for the initial loan setup, and then we've got a computation for the payment. And what I've done here to view these right quick is a little shortcut key, control tilde. First step in terms of running a data table is to set up your basic model. Here we have a very simple model of what is the payment amount computed based on certain inputs. So that's our very simple model here, is the payment amount. Okay, so now let's actually run the data table. I've already put the headers in here, APR and rate, and it doesn't specify how to vary the rates exactly, so we'll do them in fairly small increments, actually. Okay, 4.75. We're going to do 4.75 up above, say maybe 5 1/4. We'll see how much room we have here. And to get that started, just put in a couple. Of course. Okay, so varying in increments of 0.05%. Just highlight that area and pull it down. Okay, so we'll go to 5.25 there. Alright, so this is what we're going to vary, is the rate. The monthly payment, notice we've got a blank area here between the header for the APR and the rate. Below our what we want to output, that is the monthly payment as our output, we want to point to where it is already calculated. Or we could have actually calculated it here, but usually we'll actually have it already calculated and then point to that cell. Alright? Okay, so now we highlight the area. I'm just holding down the shift key and using the arrow keys to a little more control. We go to the data tab. That's easy to remember. If you run a data table, we go to the data tab, and it's under what if analysis here under data tools. Okay, data table. Alright, so notice it's indicating what's the input cell. So our input in this case is the APRs. So we want these individual APRs to be inputted, if you will, and then our output is the monthly payment. So in this case, Excel is asking, well, how do you have things arranged? We have the input numbers, these rates here, in a column. So we'll go down to the column input, and what Excel's wanting to know is where should these rates be input to get the output for the monthly payment. And that is up here in E16. So what Excel is going to do is input these APRs one at a time, recalculate the monthly payment, and give us those results. All right, and this is what we'd call a one variable table, in that there's a single input. In this case, the APR being the single input. Okay, there we are. So here we have the rates. For each individual rate, we have the monthly payment. Formatting. So let's do that right quick. And I just hit Control-1 to quickly get to the formatting. We'll make that a number. All right, that looks fine. Okay, so we can provide this as information to your friend that's considering the mortgage. They can see how the payment amounts vary by the interest rate, and it looks like what about $7 or $8, between $7 and $8 as the rates change for each 0.05%. All right, so let's rework this. We could have laid this out, and this just for example purposes, just a little bit of duplication. We could have laid this out in a row. So let's save a little bit of time here. Let me just copy some of these here, and we need to leave a blank area there. So we'll paste special, and we'll transpose those. So we're going to transpose these into a row. All right, and I'll get rid of these last two. It's a little bit further than I need to go. Okay, and the monthly payment again. So again, I'm just rerunning the data table just so we could certainly put these in a row as opposed to a column. All right, as we did before, we're going to highlight data analysis, data table. Okay, now in this case we have the input in the row as opposed to up here in the column. So in the case it is in a row, and Excel is going to ask him, well, where should these numbers be input? And that's up here. Okay, so Excel is going to take these individual numbers again, plug them in up here, give us back the monthly payment, and there we go again. All right, similar numbers as we have up there. One little item possibly of interest, another way to format things. Here's a cell that's formatted correctly based on the numbers we'd like to have. So go to Home, Format Painter, and then just drag that across. And that'll match up with the formatting down there. All right, so again, that's the one variable data table. One other quick thing to note, we cannot delete a single item, or even you have to delete the whole table or nothing. So notice if I'm trying to hit delete, and saying cannot change part of a table. If I went in to try to edit it, if I hit enter, it's going to give me, generates a error here, and I'll have to hit escape to get out of that. Alright, so if you need to delete, you have to delete the whole thing at once. Alright, so that's our first example for the data table.